Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Olumide Macaulay. On the program today, the federal government confirms release of 21 kidnapped Chibok schoolgirls as Bring Back Our Girls campaign group welcomes the news. Nigerians ask for the return of schools to missionaries in Osun State as quest for reform continues. And Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark International Day for the Reduction of Disaster Risks. All those stories and more on today's edition of News Across Nigeria, and we begin in the northern part of the country. 21 of the kidnapped schoolgirls, the Chibok girls, have been released by Boko Haram. According to a statement by the presidential spokesman Garba Shehu, the Director General of the Department of State Services, Lawal Dora, has already briefed President Muhammadu Buhari on the development. He says the release of the girls, in a limited number, is the outcome of negotiations between the administration and the Boko Haram brokered by the International Red Cross and the Swiss government. The statement adds that the president welcomes the release of the girls, but cautioned Nigerians to be mindful of the fact that more than 30,000 fellow citizens have been killed because of terrorism. The DSS DG told the president that he wants the girls to have some rest, with all of them very tired coming out of the process, before he hands them over to the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. The girls are being expected in Abuja, where the federal government has already gathered medical and other support for their arrival. Over 200 girls had been abducted from their hostels at the government secondary school, Chibok, in Borno State in April 2014. The girls' abduction had raised a worldwide condemnation, including the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon and also from the US First Lady Michelle Obama, culminating in the formation of the group Bring Back Our Girls that have been at the forefront of pushing for the girls' release. Meanwhile, the Bring Back Our Girls group have welcomed the news of the release of the girls. In a statement jointly signed by Dr. Obi Ezra-Kesili and Aisha Yusufu, the group says the wonderful development confirms what it has always known about the activities of the government to rescue the Chibok girls. The group says while it awaits further details, it salutes the work of the nation's services at the front lines, the commitment, resilience, and tireless efforts of the members of the multinational Joint Task Force and the civilian JTF. They also thank the International Committee of the Red Cross, the Swiss government, and all negotiators involved in securing the release. It also urges the international community to continue to support the government's effort to rescue all other abducted Nigerians so that the parents, the Chibok community, the nation, and the world can finally put an end to the nightmare once and for all. And for more on the release of these girls, we're now being joined on News Across Nigeria by our correspondent in Maiduguri, Blessing Tuna. Hello, Blessing. How are the residents receiving this incredible news?
The residents are very happy. There's excitement everywhere in welcome development. Even there are statements of the government, and it has renewed the hope of the people, of the government and people of Borno State in the counterinsurgency efforts of the president and Nigerian armed forces. People are expressing hope that with what has happened today, more.
We have lost Blessing there. We'll try to get her back if we can in the course of this program. But she was just saying now that the mood is that of happiness and joy on the part of the residents of Maiduguri in Borno State. To other news now, and totally not unrelated as far as crime is concerned, parents of students at the Lagos State Model College, Igbonla, have asked the state government to beef up security around the school. They made this appeal a day after the release of students and teachers kidnapped from the school, where normal academic activities have since resumed. The school's management, however, prevented media access to any further information about the condition and location of the victims.
The news about the release of the 6 kidnapped victims at the Lagos Model College Igbonla in Ekpe is everywhere. What is yet to be clarified is their state of health. To find out, we went to the General Hospital Ekpe, where the victims were taken for treatment.
Don't take the video finish.
They are here, being attended to at the female ward too, but no one is allowed beyond this point. Back at the school, we get a hostile reception. Everyone is subjected to screening.
All of us, we are parents. We are together. We are the same church.
The security guards refuse journalists access into the premises. Some of the parents who've come to visit their wards acknowledge security has come under threat, and government must do more to protect their children.
In fact, we want the government to produce more security from the junction to the school, so that everybody will be secured.
I believe this kind of situation that happened here, it may not happen again because there's a proper security as at now.
Kidnapping, no doubt, has become a major challenge in recent times. The victims may have regained their freedom here, but only the arrest of the culprits would allay fears and go a long way to restoring confidence in security services.
There's growing concern over the state of education in Nigeria as stakeholders continue to suggest ways to salvage the sector from collapse. Speakers at the commissioning of a school donated to the Anglican Church in Osun State are asking the state government to return missionary schools back to their owners.
Dignitaries from across religious, social and political communities converged on Oton Ayegbaju in Osun State for the commissioning of these school facilities. They agree that providing quality education goes beyond mere provision of structures, and the question of who manages the school comes up for discussion.
Today is a story that we must tell.
The state governor, Rauf Aregbesola, admits that the standard of education is dwindling in spite of huge investments in the sector.
Though we are not getting the deserved return on performance of our pupils, when you read out the grade your children made, at the end of the day, people tell us that it's because we don't motivate our teachers that our children are not doing well. I doubt.
And the primate of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, Nicholas Oko, agrees with him.
Actually, that is the present concern, because the confusion you see outside is not from the moon, it's from Nigerians. So if we can train you and you are 100% in mathematics and you are 100% in morals, then life will be better for everyone outside.
In what seems a way out of the problem, the former national chairman of the ruling All Progressives Congress, Chief Bisi Akande, and the Bishop of Osun North Anglican Diocese, Dr. Humphrey Olumakaye, solicits for the return of schools to their original owners.
My plea is for the missionaries to run schools side by side with other educational stakeholders in order to enable our society have a choice in producing future players in the employment market.
Your Excellency, we want to assure you that if the schools are handed over to the original owners, there will be a greater academic quality and moral standard in our state.
Dignitaries here also agree that it's important that notable personalities in the country contribute their bit to the development of education in Nigeria and not leave the task to government and missionaries alone.
To the aviation sector, the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria has sacked over 21 senior officials who were engaged about 4 years ago and demoted others on what the agency refers to as proper placement. The national president of the Nigeria Air Transport Services Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Benjamin Okewu, told our aviation correspondent that those removed include 3 acting directors and 3 substantive directors. 1 acting director was demoted and 2 substantive directors were also demoted, but the director of human resources was retained. However, 2 newly appointed directors, that of Finance and Accounts and that of Commercial and Business Development, have resumed work. You're watching News Across Nigeria. The 13th of October is the International Day for Disaster Reduction, and we have an expert in that department as well to tell us some more on that issue when we come back. Please stay with us.